What's going on with the FTC as it relates to privacy in healthcare?
Yeah. So I think the main thing to take from that warning letter is that the FTC is just as concerned about this as the OCR is. And, even more so now that OCR does have, some limitations based on their ruling. I don't want to, ignore that. There was an
Mhm.
effect and they do have some restraints now, but FTC is not constrained by that ruling. It impacts the definition of PHI, and FTC doesn't deal with covered entities in their role under HIPAA. And so maybe we'll see them kind of stepping up a bit more now while OCR is trying to figure out what they do. But the fact is that it's not like they've been silent either to date. I mean, we've seen them, really going back to this 2022, 2023 period, really seen them step up in terms of what they're saying about tracking technologies. They do that in two main ways that we've seen to date. One is under the FTC Act, which probably everyone kind of thinks of traditionally with the FTC, no unfair or deceptive trade practices. But another one they've come up with, it's been in place, but they're starting to enforce against it and really only did it for the first time last February, is their health breach notification rule. That basically says that entities who are not covered by HIPAA, like, wearables or fitness apps, things like that, they are subject to the health breach notification rule. And if they share information in a way that's, not permitted, they have to notify consumers about that. Very similar to the breach notification rule under HIPAA. And we saw the first one with GoodRx back in February, then the second one in May of 2023 in a very similar case within an ovulation tracking app. What's really interesting about these ones is that unlike the FTC Act, which only applies to for-profit entities, the health breach notification rule can be enforced against nonprofits to the extent they have this type of information. And, while it's interesting to see a novel theory being applied and that, these settlement amounts aren't anything insignificant, you can see the amounts here. What's really, I think, notable about these settlements and these consents is that these entities, we're seeing it in all of them, are being permanently prohibited from sharing any information for advertising purposes. And then any other type of sharing of information to a third party requires the consumer's affirmative consent. So, I mean, for a marketer or for someone who wants to use any type of information from a website or an app, they're locked. I mean, there's nothing they can do.